Most people who breed dogs aren't concerned about the future generations. Nothing was ever done with any of his ancestors except for breed them. A registered dog meant it had to be a good quality dog. That was not the case.
So I'm still learning about a lot of different things. But for, let's say, AKC dogs, let's say you have a puppy, can you go back 4 generations and none of those dogs could have been titled or proven? Is that puppy 4 generations down the line still considered AKC if they were bred? So there's no, like, you don't have to continually prove like great grandchildren down the line. They're still technically considered AKC because their parents were, even if like 4 generations down the line, you get some sort of genetic, difference.
So lately there has been this thing that has cropped up in AKC. So the American Kennel Club is a registry, and really that's their purpose. So they keep the family trees of all the dogs, and they do have systems in place to help maintain the integrity of that pedigree. Okay. But unless something is called into question, the likelihood of something coming out is slim, because just like you said, if the parents are registered, both registered, and it has to be what's called full registration, which means that their offspring are eligible to also be registered, because there is something called limited, and that's the breeder's discretion. So if I breed a litter and I have a puppy that I feel is show worthy that I'm keeping, I'm going to put that one on full registration. And the ones that go to pet homes that I feel aren't, in that caliber, or sometimes they're show puppies that I just can't keep, then they go on limited non-breeding registration. But most people who breed dogs aren't concerned about the future generations. It's like, nope, they're registerable, full registration across the board.
Right.
And so, yes, we could have, if dogs that were related to the first one that I got 4 generations down, parents are registered, full registration, offspring are registerable.
With your first dog the first Siberian that you had, what was it about him or her that you realized that maybe they weren't from, like, let's say, like a well-bred breeder?
Despite having some experience in the showing realm, I still was of the belief that a registered dog meant that it was, it had to be a good quality dog. But nonetheless, that was not the case. He was a very good learning experience in so far as what can happen if you don't really do your homework and don't know what you're getting into. First and foremost, that the dog that we had a very difficult temperament. Not that Siberians don't, but his was exceptionally up there. And unbeknownst to me at the time, looking at his pedigree after the fact, there were no titled dogs. Nothing was ever done with any of his ancestors except for breed them. And not knowing what the breed standard calls for, because there's functional things that come along with the breed standard. But there were a lot of traits that this dog exhibited that put him more in line with being like a Malamute instead of a Siberian. He had, a couple of minor health issues very early on, but health issues nonetheless, which, not that you can't get health issues with a well-bred dog, but just enough stuff to make me go, okay. So clearly this is not a dog that, if I'm going to do this right, I would want to be what a lot of folks refer to as a foundation.
Right.
And at that point, I decided, you know what, if I'm going to have litters or breed dogs, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it obviously to the best of my ability, but I'm going to truly learn about this. I'm going to show dogs. I'm going to go to seminars. I'm going to learn stuff online when that became an option. I learn something new every day. That's the fun part about it.